Hi guys, it's me Toffee Dog, and I was really hoping not to show my face on this level 4 vlog, but that's okay. Due to phone trouble, I cannot record on the phone. This isn't the best day to do it face to face either. I've got a horrible migraine, but I'm going to continue. That's what I need to do, is just continue. So week 6. What am I talking about? First week back from Easter, and I had done less work than I wanted to, so I was really eager to just get back on the bandwagon, as it were, because I had like slightly slipped. And I booked 5 workshops initially, and then went on reviewing them. I realised 2 overcrossed. So the first workshop I went to the Illustrator CC workshop, Illustrator Basics. Because I know a lot about Photoshop, but I have no idea I had no idea about Illustrator, so I really wanted to do that, especially knowing that I will possibly use their digital art in my exhibition. I'm not really sure. I'm choosing between that and a 4D installation. I'm still working that out in my sketchbook. But anyway, so we learnt the basics. There we are. So, where my fingers are, we learnt typography. So we learnt how to write on lines, so curved lines, and we also learnt how just the basics of typography. We learnt about colour blocking. As you can see here, very bright colours, but that has to be in my theme, because positivity, I cannot have dull colours in my sketchbook. And then I also took, even though these colours aren't positive, these are actually photographs of this guy here, who I associate with positivity. So that's the reason why you might be thinking, why are there dark circles? So we learned how to duplicate, how to make 2D into 3D. As you can see there's a 3D net to your left, I believe. And then we've also got the final 3D shape here. We also learnt how to draw the pen tool to draw straight lines, to join anchors, and to create curved lines. And right at the bottom here, you should be able to see the text along the line. Unfortunately, our text has nothing to do with my topic, since it was just practice. And to be quite honest, I had so much fun doing this workshop, because I picked up on things very quickly, and it was so much fun. And I honestly think that Illustrator now is better than Photoshop. Photoshop is quite limiting when you're trying to edit things. If you don't like something you've done, say in first stage, you can go back on Illustrator, but you can't with Photoshop. It's kind of constricting. Do the constricting sign. Okay, second workshop. Thursday was my busiest, where I had 2 workshops. Thursday we did laser cutting, and I did not realise how perfect it was to have done the Illustrator CC workshop beforehand, because that's the exact program we use to create our designs. So the first page here is, I did some research into, actually, the light's too bright, into what laser cutting is, how does it work. I drew a diagram here. I'm a bit of a math head as well, so I like to figure things out. There's definitions at the top, how it works. To be quite honest, it works with a lot of lenses and mirrors. The only part that is the laser is at the very bottom here, where it manipulates light to make the beam intense enough to become a laser. I hope that makes sense to you. That made sense to me, but again, I'm a bit of a math and science nerd as well. So these 3 circles here on your left, and not the big ones, are additional automatic drawing designs that I'm thinking of doing. I did automatic just pure line one on the bottom left here, and then I continued the automatic drawing. The only problem with white paper on this camera is it doesn't really pick it up. The light shine. Okay, so we'll do that. Anyway, the big one here is my final design. The automatic drawing in the middle is exactly the same for all the designs. The only difference is the backdrop of each one. And because the automatic drawing was quite busy already, I decided to go with the more simple background. That workshop was interesting. I am a bit impatient. We will be getting our results, our final cuttings. Mine will be engraving and cutting sometime this week, on week 7. And honestly, I chose PVC because I'm looking at positivity and I want to show positivity through light. I thought that is the perfect material to use. It won't break easily like glass, so I can have it on display without any safety problems. And also, it's nice. I can potentially paint it or try and find some coloured PVC. I'm sure is out there. Now, the final workshop for me was first day afternoon. I was in the concrete and plaster workshop. That was very good. I decided after all not to use concrete. I said, hey, let's go with plaster, but let's implement it in an automatic sculpture, which I have never ever attempted. And it is funny how it turned out, because when you're building a sculpture, you have to think about it a lot. You have to think about how each element works together. And because unlike a 2D element, you could potentially just undo something, you could rub it out and start over again. The sculpture, do you mind? Sorry, busy road. Live next to a busy road. So, if you make a bit of a mistake, you might not be able to take it back. So I had to think enough to build, but not think so much as to what the final result would be. I had to kind of just go with what my mind was thinking. So I was going around the workshop, picking out various materials, picked up various paints. The only thing I thought about was, are these bright colours? And I wanted to make all the rusty tools, all the like little screws and everything. I wanted to make them bright and colourful. I wanted to make something new out of them. But the first thing I did was I decided to make an automatic clay sculpture. This is the final result. We've got a little, the closest I can think of is a bunny. Again, because it's an automatic sculpture, it's not supposed to be anything specifically, but it does look like a bunny. So what I did was I poured plaster over the bunny, I put it on a wooden surface, and I also put some wire mesh underneath, which actually made it easier to get it out the mould. I couldn't find the right resources to line it with, so I kind of used a wire mesh as a lever to get it out. I picked up the Styro Cube because I thought this would be the perfect way to display my coloured nails. All these at the front aren't coloured, and I found a piece of string. I wanted to connect them together to make a smiley face, and here I took green, yellow and blue paint. I put them in a bowl, I poured some in, I mixed it together, and I dipped all these little tools in. I put gloves on because I'm a bit of a neat freak, and I dipped them and then placed them in the foam, but I let the paint drip onto the styrofoam. So I did that for 2. This is a photograph of how the bunny came out of the mould, and I included this photograph here, which I have kind of named Ghost Bunny because it just reminds me of a ghostly bunny. And it's so strange how my mind works differently in doing an automatic sculpture when listening to the same music. It's quite interesting. But that is going to be the end of the week 6 vlog. The week 7 vlog is going to come very, very soon. Okay, see you guys next time.